Hey, BATT Family. Welcome to this new edition of Odds and Ends. We've been back from Gen Con 2025 for a few days now, and we are all just now starting to feel like real people again. This year's con just took absolutely every ounce of energy we had, and that's why we're doing this episode now. Now, that said, we have some great content in this episode, as well as some channel update news, so let's go ahead and start with that. Gen Con isn't the only thing that's been taking a lot of energy out of us. 2025 has been an excellent year for the podcast and an emotionally brutal one in almost every other sense for each member of the Aboard All the Time team. So we're going to take a small break. Basically, what we've realized is this first full 25 episodes and all the reviews and everything else we've done with it, we're going to be calling that our Season 1. We're extremely proud of the content that we have produced, and we have loved working with all the publishers and friends and those that are now both for the past 16 months or so. We took a small break around the beginning of the year, and it was smart of us to do, and that was right before we were getting anywhere near as much stuff coming in as we have now. So it's a pretty constant stream at this point, and the level of organization, scheduling, and production that we have committed to is much higher. We want to do right by all of our partners and our audience, so here's what we're going to be doing. Through the month of August, you'll still be getting new episodes 24 and 25, new reviews, and all the other fun stuff that you're used to. This is all the content that we have recorded prior to Gen Con, and we will be coming out on our regular scheduling. We are, however, going to go mostly dark in September. This is to let us have time to get things played, get some new content in the can without having to worry about anything being released, and making sure we're ready to go on with all of our new ideas. You're still going to get a couple of things. We have a Kickstarter we'll be supporting, as well as the final episodes of The Game That Made Us, just to make sure you don't lose us in your feeds. But the sheer amount of stuff we've been releasing the way we have, that's going to slow down. But on Tuesday, October 7th, we are going to be returning with Season 2. We have some really cool plans set in place. First up, Jason is now just going to be a full-time host with us. There may be the occasional episode without one of the three of us due to life getting in the way, but we expect fully to be a trio moving forward. He has been great on the show when he's been on, and he has helped us out enormously over the past few months with a variety of things. It just feels right to have him on and be able to call him one of our co-hosts. Next, we're going to be releasing a new sub-series that we're calling the Expansion Packs. These are mostly going to be our off-week, non-review content, and we're going to be covering singular topics in them. The Mechanics Shop may end up in here, for instance, new player journeys, and a really super cool segment that we're going to be calling Extra Rolls. Extra Rolls is us going to be having board gaming industry figures from publishers and designers and artists to social media managers or playtest leads or whoever from our favorite companies coming on the show. This is a way for us to continue to be friends with the board gaming industry and just get more love for them out there. We've already had some really cool people say that they would like to be on the show, and we have been scheduling like mad. Our first episode of the season, episode 26, will not only feature Jason, but a designer/publisher that I am very excited to have on. We have some really cool stuff coming down that pipeline. It is such a surprise and such a cool blessing of how many people we reached out to said, yeah, we really want to come on your show. Super, super cool. You can also expect the first appearance of Dusting Off and some more segments in the Role Playing Legends series just to keep things spicy. We really appreciate your continued journey with us. We love doing the show, and we are stoked to recharge and get some brand new content coming your way. I really, truly believe that Season 2 is going to blow what we have done in the past out of the water. With all that stated, let's go ahead and get into our various odds and ends, shall we? First up, we have just a small conversation that Scott and I had following our interview with Jamie Stegmaier in April when all the Tariff announcements started up. Things are certainly better now than they were when they were first announced in April, but tariffs are still an active and recent topic that we need to be paying attention to. I believe that what we talk about in these few minutes is still relevant and worthwhile. And remember, please support your favorite publishers and your favorite local game stores. I don't know if we're actually going to keep this in the episode or not, but we just got off of our call with Jamey Stegmaier. That was a ton of fun to talk to him. Any other last thoughts or comments or ideas that you wanted to throw on?
I mean, going back to what Jamey said, please talk to your legislation, contact your congressmen, your senators, start local, go local, get bigger. Stuff that happens here in your towns and in your cities will ripple out and help your state and help our nation. So like, get on it, people. And then do exactly what he said. Get on there, go to your favorite gaming website. It doesn't have to be Stonemaier. It doesn't have to be All Play. Find them, help them that way by paying them directly, which is perfect. It's a vote of confidence. Personally, how I feel when I go to the publisher's website and order from them, and then I go pick up my other stuff at my local game store because I want my local game store to thrive as well.
Stonemaier has actually been the biggest reason why I go directly through publishers as much as I can.
Yeah.
I try and support my local game stores and my local retailers, but if I know I can support the publishers directly, I try and do that. And that's why we didn't bring it up with him, but the idea of the champion program and getting that direct interaction, that direct support to them goes a long way. So yeah, definitely take the time, reach out to your local representatives, your state representatives, and support your favorite designers. Doesn't have to be Stonemaier. He's one of ours. We lucked out and we managed to find that time to talk to him. But if you really like CMON, or if you really like Kayenta Games or whoever, try and support them, because like Jamey said, there are not that many companies in this industry that can weather this the way that Stonemaier can.
Exactly.
Next up was part of the conversation we had with Eric during our recording of what became episode 20. When we discussed Werewolf in that episode, Scott had a story that he very much enjoyed telling. It was cut for flow when I was doing the episode, but honestly, it's a very funny and very Scott thing to hear about.
One of my favorite gaming stories happens to be from a game of Werewolf, where actually it was like the first time I played, and then we were playing with expanded rules, and I got the Tanner, which the Tanner wants to be killed. They want to be killed by the villagers. And I literally had this person like, so what are you? And I'm like, I don't know you. I'm not telling you. And they went, what? And I went, I don't know you. I'm not telling you. And then like someone else came to me like, he just wants to know it. I understand that. I don't have to tell you anything. And they're like, whoa, why are you so... And I'm like, why does it matter? Died first night. Or when it was the first vote, I was the first one gone and I won.
Yeah.
Because that was my goal. And they all went, what? And I went, had to die. And so then the second game that we played, they were like, so what are you? Because you did a really good job at that. I was like, I don't have to tell you. And they went... Well, we can't kill him. He's being rude again. We might be doing it again. And I wasn't. I think I was the seer, but I kept everybody away from me. And so I was able to do my job as the seer. And I figured I was there. Awesome. And they were like, once we got through a bunch of things, they were like, how do you know? I'm like, because I'm the seer. And they're like, well, why didn't you tell us that beforehand? I'm like, because I was being a jerk so that you guys would leave me alone. It worked. I got to do my job.
Next, from the same episode as Scott's werewolf story, comes me talking about a really stupid game called Win, Lose, or Banana. Again, this was cut for flow, but it's still something that makes me chuckle endlessly whenever I think about it. And especially considering that I don't really talk to the people involved in the story anymore, so it's just something I wanted to put out there. It's a stupid, it's barely a game, but it's called Win, Lose, or Banana. And we used to play this all the time for Go Firstiness. And Win, Lose, or Banana, you are handed a card face down that says win, lose, or banana. And if you are the winner, you win. But as the winner, you need to figure out which player is the loser and which one is the banana. Because the loser just needs the winner to pick them, and they win instead. If the winner picks the banana wins. Done.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous. And I had a game where I was playing with a guy and his girlfriend. I was the loser, he was the winner, and she was the banana. In fact, she ended up being the banana for like 8 games in a row. It was the weirdest thing. But I looked at him and I just said, I'm the loser. She's the banana. Pick her. And he's like, you? I'm like, yeah, I'm the loser. Thank you for letting me win.
That's
never forget that. Yeah, that was... Win, lose, banana. You're so dumb. Okay, so now we're getting into the various honorable mentions from our top 10 lists. We're going to have 3 of them in this episode, and this first set here is from when Scott and I recorded our top 10 games for 2025 that we surprise dropped on January 1st.
Before I hit the number 10, I definitely want to put my 2 little caveats. So I do have 2 games, like I had stated. Could have hit the top 10. I did not get to play them enough because one game has had some tweaks, and the new edition is really, really nice, and it seems like it could make this game bounce back into my top 10, but I want to play more of it to make sure that it's there. The second one is brand new. I enjoyed the ever-living guts of the whole thing, but I only got to play it one time. And so I was like, this I think is a really good one. I think this could totally hit my top 10. It's definitely in my top 20.
Let me ask you this first.
Yeah.
Are these games that you would just say, these are my 11 and 12 right now? Or is that because of everything else, kind of all the nebulousness you have beyond your 10? Or are they just games you really like?
I would say that these are probably in the nebulous of 11 through 15.
Okay.
Because, like, I think some of the games that fell out could be in contention of falling in that 11 through 15.
Sure.
And so, again, not enough gameplay to sit there and be like, yeah, this is definitely 11, this is definitely 12. So I'm going to say that nice amorphous blob of 11 through 15.
That's fair. A lot of that 7, 8, 9, 10, if you look at my data lines, struggle in that 7 to 15 range because they're all games that you love.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so the first one I have to mention is the definitive collection of Sentinels of the Multiverse. We had a great time playing it.
Yep.
It made me remember why I really enjoy the game. I want to see what are the other new portions, and it even makes me want to play the old one, so I can sit there and be like, okay, this is why this is the better one. This is the reason why I'm going to spend this money again. That would be my amorphous blob. The other one from All Play, River Valley Glassworks, is one of the other ones. I've only gotten to play it one time. I did not get to do the solo mode yet, and it's a solid game. I can already tell it's a solid game, but it didn't quite hit there to be a solid top 10.
River Valley, because I have played it quite a bit, is my 30.
Really?
It's that high for me. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Which, that's awesome for a 2024 game to be up that high.
Before we jump into it, since you had a caveat, I will tell you what my number 13 is.
Okay.
Because my 11 would spoil things, and I already told you what my 12 is.
Yeah.
So my 13 is Ark Nova, the game that I have most likely played the most under kind of the modern age of my tracking and everything else. I love Ark Nova. It is too big, it's too long, it's all the things, but I absolutely love every moment I get to play it. So Ark Nova made my 13. This is the highest it's ever been. It has been on the list since 2022, where it came on at 64, and it was 19 last year.
I love Ark Nova. Of course, I have the Marine pack. I bought the extra map packs. I will continue to upgrade that game. I just haven't played a ton of it. Honestly, probably won't hit my top 25 until I get to play it more. And
BGA is a wonderful way to play it.
And that's the thing, is I don't play a lot of with people. I tend to, it's weird. When I get on BGA, I tend to do more solo stuff.
Sure.
So, okay, I think I know what your 11 is. Because you were talking about, if I tell you what my 11 is, you're going to know that everything's all up in the air.
What's my 11?
Scythe.
Scythe did drop to 11.
I was like, looking at what you had before and how so much has shifted, I went, oh my God, Scythe fell out the top 10.
It did.
Now I'm sitting there looking at the top 2. Well, I know what your top 1 is, because I know that's not moving.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I already know what your top 1 is. So
I will say Scythe fell out. It was number 1 for like 3 years, and then it became number 2 because of the game you were just talking about.
Yep, the number 1.
And then it shifted to 4 because of a couple things, and now it's at 11. And Scythe is only at 11 because I've actually gotten to play it more this year than I have in a lot of years prior.
Oh, wow.
Which is great. But what I have realized with Scythe, at this point, with it being a 9-year-old game, 8-year-old game, 8 or 9-year-old game, whatever, the people that don't know the game will lose. Like, I will just beat them if I'm playing, because I know the structure of the game. I know the strategies. I know the stuff. But I am not good enough at it because I am not the person that has played it 400, 500, 600 times. And I will just lose to the very experienced people. So I'm sitting in this no man's land of Scythe of, I don't want to play with anybody that's experienced because I will lose so badly. But it's so hard to bring people up into it because most people don't want to lose that badly. Even if I am just explaining the game, I just fundamentally understand the systems of it at this point.
Right.
So it dropped out of my top 10.
We have often talked about getting me to play that game again, and love you as a teacher. I still don't think I'm going to enjoy the game.
It's fair.
And so, like, do I still want to kind of play it? Yeah, kind of, but it's still, yeah, kind of.
If you said, let's play it, I will play it. If Torma, who plays like 4 or 5 games a day because he will play it digitally, I will still play it with him. I love it. So it's not in my top 10 anymore. Our next top 10 is from episode 20 with Eric again. As a reminder, that top 10 list was the games that we enjoy teaching the most. It's funny how it's only been a few months, and I am curious to see just how different my list would be at this point. I have taught some really great games since then, and I've had an absolute blast teaching FinSpan at Gen Con this year, and honestly, that would probably make the list at this point. All right, Scott. So for your honorable mentions, what'd you bring?
So I've got 3, because we agreed about doing 3 of them. A couple of them were ones that were really close to being on the list. In fact, one I bumped off the list. That one that I happened to bump off of the list was The Crew.
Okay.
Being from Indiana, from the Midwest, also having a very Canadian family, euchre is a thing that you get taught at a very early age. And specifically, I enjoy Mission Deep Sea. The original is fine, but the Mission Deep Sea, I think it adds just enough stuff in there that I like it much more.
It makes it easier to teach because you peel off a couple cards and not have to worry about all the extra tokens.
Exactly. But I mean, for a simple trick-taking game where you're having to make sure that communications are clear, beautiful. Like, I love the whole idea of, I'm going to look at my hand, I'm taking this one, and I'm going to give it to you, and we'll figure out how to make it work. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I can think of other games that could slot into that spot, but The Crew, Mission Deep Sea is by far my favorite one of those. I also have Suro. I love Suro. Suro is a very simple game. Simple tile lane, follow the path, try and knock off other friends. It's not that hard at all. And I think it really looks really, really pretty, especially like when you get that box and you open up and there's that rice paper sitting there on the top. Love its look. I do prefer the original Suro, 100%. But beyond the other expansions, they're fine, but
I do like in Suro, because it is just play a tile, follow the line, draw another tile.
Yep.
But once you've gotten past that, it's that weird, like, alternate teach of, okay, now you and I were going to play cooperative. We're just going to try to stay on the same lines as long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so much variety for how you can teach the game because the game is that flexible.
It really, really is. And it's just so much fun to being like, I'm so sorry. And like, I'm trying to keep you on here as long as you can, but I only have one tile that keeps me on the board.
Sorry.
Bye. And then, of course, my last one is Sagrada, because it's just a fun game of dice and making stained glass windows with the dice. You know, you kind of have that, there's that little bit of luck problem because, like, if you really want blue and you don't have one pop up, that kind of stinks. But man, just a fun game. I just really, really enjoy the Sagrada and having all the dice. I'm a dice monster. I have so many dice.
I believe the correct term is dice goblin.
Sir, I have graduated from Goblin. I used to say I was a dice bugbear. No.
He is now a dice hobgoblin.
Oh, no.
I was going to go with dice dragon at this
I
point.
am definitely a dice dragon. Quick little backstory. Jason's like, hey, Scott, can you take some of the stuff that you're currently not using off the shelves from my house? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Let me clean the studio. There's a lot of stuff not taking. I took home 35 sets of dice. I had a little container that had 28 and a huge bag. And I think I'm saying 35, and that's just being generous. I'm pretty sure there was more than 35 sets of dice.
That's ludicrous.
And mind you, that doesn't count in my bag. I have my 8 set that I normally use from Robin's Nerd. So, yeah, I like dice.
Eric, what did you bring?
All right, so the first one, we played this a lot in college, and we had dubbed it, not by its original name, but by the title of, oh my god, we're all gonna die. And that is...
Is this zombies?
No, it is Red November.
Oh, yeah.
I've never played that.
It hasn't aged well.
Oh.
It used to be a game that we played it.
We played it so much in college. You were a bunch of gnomes on a submarine trying to survive for an hour. The sub is sinking and going through catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe.
It doesn't set up why you're actually on the sub or it's sinking. So our go-to is always the captain got drunk, wandered in the missile bay, accidentally fired one off inside, and when that shockwave hit, another missile swung around and knocked him out, and now that's why there's no captaincy on the ship.
Everything you do costs time. Moving between rooms, unlocking doors, doing any type of event costs time. You can spend time to basically make the difficulty checks you need to make during the game easier.
But the more time you spend,
the more events you trigger, which means more locked doors, more fires, floods, more severe accidents coming up. Like, I busted out a couple months ago to try and replay this game. And the first couple of games we played, we had 3 severe timed events come out within the first 10 minutes. So, like a missile crisis.
Because you only have until 10 minutes beyond their original appearance that you're able to take care of.
And it happens before anyone can actually get anything to solve these issues.
Oh, no.
Now, this game does have the best semi-cooperative rule of all time in it, though.
Yes. If you get within 10 minutes of end of game and you think the game is going to lose, you can grab scuba gear and leave the sub. Abandon ship on the rest of your gnomes.
And if the ship goes down, you are hailed as the only survivor of the Red November. But if it survives, you are hung as the only traitor.
Oh my gosh.
And one of the events is the Kraken can show up and screw up your ship.
That happens when you have to shuffle him back in when the deck runs out the first. It, thematically, I have such great memories of this game. And then I played it again not that long ago. I'm like, oof. This game has not aged well.
With what has happened in this world, no, this game has not.
No. But, what a fun one to teach, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once again, oh my God, we're all going to die.
Wow.
Another one I have that we have played recently and I've gotten into and really enjoy. I don't own it, but one of my friends does, and he has everything for it, and that is Too Many Bones.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually started to enjoy teaching this game. I don't really teach every gear lock in the game because, dear God, I don't understand every single one of them.
Yeah.
There's way too many, and I've not played them all. But just teaching the core mechanics of the game of what you're doing, what you can do during battle, how you upgrade your characters throughout the game, I can teach that just fine, and everyone seems to understand that. The questions usually arise of, okay, what do I do with my gear lock? How does my gear lock work? And that's usually, oh, you're a new player? Well, I do the setup. Pick your gear lock, start reading. If you have questions, we'll resolve them when I'm done with setup. Because, yes, it takes a hot minute to set up on the table, but once you get into it, once you start playing, it is a lot of fun. And the last game on my list is Cuphead, the fast-rolling dice game.
Okay. Talk about a game that you and I would probably never bring onto this list.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine. This is
not out of any kind of anything. I've never played the video game.
No, I've never played the video game either. I've only played the board game, and I got it through the Herald system I'm part of.
Nice.
And it was out during the pandemic, so I got a copy. The game store got a copy. And it was just one of those, I never played the video game. I'm interested in this. What the hell? I have nothing else to do. Let's go demo this game. And it is a lot of fun. If you don't like stress in a game, don't play this game. This is a very stressful game. You are given a set of 5 dice, and you have to roll the dice as many times as you can during the time allotted to match the symbols on the boss's card. You're trying to match the symbols to dodge those attacks. If you don't match the symbols on the card, you take a damage, and you only have 3 health.
Oh boy.
So you can only take 3 hits, and you have to fill the cards in as you see them. So once you skip a card, you can't go back.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And once you assign a dice, it gets locked in. If a boss's card only has 1 symbol on it, you can place 2 dice in it. The other die can be an attack die, which is how you do damage to the boss.
Sure.
Do enough damage to all the phases of the boss, you win that boss. The big part is that time limit. Easy mode, the time limit is 20 seconds. So you are trying to roll your dice as fast as possible, match up your symbols, and just keep going. And every time the boss has to reshuffle his deck, you also get score penalizations on top of that.
Interesting.
And you're just trying to get a better score as you go on. And then bosses further down the road add new mechanics the symbols on your dice don't appear the same on the card. They appear as different symbols, and you have to make the connection between the 2 symbols. Or, these dice now have to be stacked. And if they tumble during the dice rolling phase, you lose those dice. Oof. So don't knock your dice over as you play.
Oh my.
It gets rough as you go on further on. But you're buying upgrades, being able to dish out more damage, stuff like that. It's fun. It's chaos. I enjoy it.
Nice.
And it's a fun little game.
So I brought 3 games that I very much love. I mentioned the 2 that I had ejected in the list. Actually, I didn't talk about the one. Doesn't matter. So my first one I did talk about last time. And in fact, after we talked about it on the honorable mentions, we sat there and played it. And that is, we didn't play test this game. It's a stupid game. I made the argument earlier that Rise of Augustus might be my stupidest game. I lied. It's this one. Because the teach is, you are trying to win this game. If you have lost the game, you have not won. To win the game, you want to play cards appropriately. And star cards are better than other cards. And in fact, they just tell you that they are better. That's the game. You're going to have a couple cards in hand. Your turn will be draw a card, you play a card. It's stupid. It is so dumb. And having people just give you that goggle-eyed look of, what are we about to do? Just pleases me endlessly. So that's the first one. The next one is the complete opposite. And I have made mention of this multiple times, but it's On Mars. Because On Mars is a challenge to teach. Because there are so many exceptions and so many little things to point out and teach, where you can have an action say, for this action, you need a worker, but to boost it, you don't need a worker unless you are doing it in this particular case, in which place you actually do need another worker. And you can modify it with crystals, and you can, like, it's just one nested thing after another. And it is going to be a long teach regardless. It is a huge game. There's a lot of systems going on. But when you're sitting there and you do that, pause. What do you have questions on right now? Okay, moving on to the next section. And it is a smart enough board that you can explain, here's the space station actions and here's the Mars actions. For a challenge to myself of, can I teach this, and can I teach this cogently, clearly, and not take the length of 3 other games to do it? It's a really fun thing for me to do. You and I will need to play it at some point.
Yeah.
It is a very good game, but it is one of those, as a learner, you need to strap in. There is no game in my collection that's more complicated than that one. And then finally, I limited myself to one Stonemaier game. I've talked about this one ad nauseum. In fact, it is another one of our Games That Made Us episodes. It's Euphoria.
Oh,
because
yeah, you do.
When you go to teach Euphoria, you get such a strong thematic base to go from. This is Brave New World, the board game. You are running a dystopia, and you have workers underneath you that you are trying to force into build the dystopia that you are imagining. Keep them dumb, keep them happy. That's your goal. And then you explain the various bits from there. And then you can explain thematically why the Icarites are where they are. You can explain why the Subterraneans are the rebels. And you can do all that stuff thematically. And then it also just has that beautiful board. Again, the Icarites are their own thing. But the other 3, you can just say, focus on this. This is mapped to the other 2 sections of the board. You go here to do this. You go here to do this. You go here to do this. Bang. For a thematic and mechanical teach to work as well as it does, I don't know that I found another one that's better.
I love that game. That's a great game.
I'll need to play it sometime.
Oh, yeah, you do. Our last top 10 of the episode is actually from an episode you haven't gotten to hear yet. We wanted this odds and ends to cover everything that was remaining from season 1 of the podcast. And so that means that you get a sneak peek of episode 25. That episode, if I remember the title correctly, is the top 10 best games that we don't play anymore. It was a super fun list to go through, and it featured a very good friend of mine and ex-coworker, Austin. I cannot wait for you to hear that episode in a couple weeks. It's probably my favorite list that we've done, other than the live list of the top games that deserve a remake. We've wrapped up discussing our top 10 best games that we will never play again. And we wanted to talk about our honorable mentions. Yes, we said we're going to play some games at the end of the episode. We'll see if it happens. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
No, you said we were going to play some games. I mean, it might eventually, but no, we actually had to record this first.
It's true, we did. So,
Sad
Austin,
face.
you're still here.
You're still here.
We just wanted to talk through our honorable mentions the way we normally do after one of these top 10 lists. And it's just quick hits on why did you want to talk about it here? Why didn't it make the main list? You know, we don't need to give huge diatribes about them, but I brought 3.
I pulled up my list and I pulled up a third one.
I've got 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Scott, let's just go back to back on you.
So my 3 are Blockus,
Okay, sure. Never played it.
So good.
It's a good game.
You've talked about it at length too. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, it was a fun game when it first came out. There's just things that are better that fit that headspace that I like of that game. That one also can kind of get mean every once in a while, depending if you're playing with an aggressive person. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, this will never hit the table ever again. Wiz War?
Talk about long and random.
Yeah. I played it.
It's on its like 9th edition because the first one was like 86 or something.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I played it, I actually played it after being at Disney World. A buddy I knew from online, we decided that we met up, and he was like, "Oh, you like playing board games?" I was like, yeah, why don't you come over and play some board games? And we played Wiz War of all things. Oof. And he had a couple expansions, and so, but it's just one of those like, this is a fine game for what it does. It's different, and it was different at the time when I played it.
You can see why it's relatively same era as Talisman.
Yeah, very much so. And then my last one, and it kind of hurts that it's there because it has some good ideas, but it's long and it's weird, and there's other things I'd rather play from this company, and that's Role Player.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I love the idea of the game. But the whole thing is it's kind of like in that same realm of cartographers. Mm-hmm. Like, after I'm done making this character, I just want to make the character. Like, I'm going to go play D&D. Cartographers is like, cool, I got done making this map. Now let me actually flush out this map. Mm-hmm. But like Role Player, it's just like
real short list for me.
Yeah.
My issue with Role Player is it needs one of the 2 expansions.
Yeah.
Because just making the character and then boom, game's over, kind of blows.
Yeah,
so the expansion says, I'm going to fight a monster with my character, at least.
Yeah.
The problem that I had is I bought both expansions and the big box, and that is a nightmare.
Really?
I've
never gotten a chance to play either expansion.
Just get the Minions and Monsters, the first one.
That's the one I heard was the better one.
That's the better one. It changes out some of the dice. It gives you a reason to go fight something, and then it's over, and you just use the character in D&D, whatever.
Okay.
When you put in both expansions, it's too many extra dice. It's too much extra stuff. It became that anachrony thing of the return of gameplay versus setup just wasn't there anymore.
Yep.
And the reason why I put this in the honorable mentions is because maybe I do need the expansion.
Yeah.
And
because
then,
if
and
you
then the
brought
game
that over
in.
with one expansion, either one, I don't really care, but just one of the 2 expansions, I'd play it again.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a strong game.
I still have my copy.
Did you play Role Player?
I think I've played it one time.
Okay.
Not my cup of tea.
Unsurprising.
I love that whole like little bit of the dice manipulation and that fun stuff. So
Yep.
What you got?
On my list, honorable mentions, another Splotter, Roads and Boats.
The ugliest game in existence.
It is a game that I was so excited to play.
Never heard of it.
Pulled it out at the wrong time.
Okay.
And ended up sitting there with Jenny, my wife, and she looked up at me after I had given her the teach and we were getting ready to start, and she said, I just can't. And we put it away, and it never came back out. Just to give you like an idea, so there's a print off player aid for this game.
Okay.
And it is 2-sided, and it's just conversions. So it's like this thing trades into that thing at this rate.
Okay.
2 full pages with the font very, very small.
And the game looks like it was drawn by a kindergartner.
It was.
It is so viciously ugly.
Actually, if a kindergartner drew it, you may tell them to improve their drawing skills. But
I don't know your wife, but I already love her because I completely agree.
it's an
She has
economic
put
engine
up with
game.
a lot from
She
Austin.
really has. I love her
really
so much.
She must really love you.
She does.
She's a genuinely wonderful person.
She is.
I really like Jenny. Anyways.
But Roads and Boats have not actually played, so
That's hysterical.
couldn't say never play again.
And this box, like, you know, some of my big boxes.
Yeah.
It makes those look small.
It's
Like, it is enormous.
It's an enormous box in both directions in ways that make it impossible to store.
It's so annoying.
Really dumb.
Have you seen the complete edition that's like this thick?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
So, like, in other words, like, you could take everything out of this box and just, like, have it to be for shoes.
You
pairs.
could probably put 2 or 3 pairs of shoes in there.
Oh, my God, no.
Yep.
That's not an exaggeration.
And,
No,
and the box is full.
I'm thinking of Anachrony, and your big one's over there. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I know it's in the...
you can fit 4 pairs of shoes in an infinity box. You might be able to do that with like 3 pairs, and it's not as thick.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
That just makes
wider
me-
by a good 6 or 7 inches.
Oh, that just makes me feel ill. No. Okay, so what's the next one?
Hang on. When I say kindergartner,
The look on Scott's face right now.
That donkey has seen things.
Okay.
The typography and the font is
hold on. One, it makes me want to go up to the donkey and be like, where on this have you been hurt? Two, who does that for font?
It's offensive.
It's
This font is offensive.
As a person who has to do typesetting for all sorts of... Okay, so... Oh, God, no. Everyone, if you're listening to this, please search this board game, and then you can sit there and groan and cry. That hurts my eyes.
I remember the first time you showed me Roads and Boats. I'm like, what is this? And then you told me Splatter. I'm like, cool, double no.
And it left the collection.
Unsurprising. All right, what's your second one?
Another honorable mention, City Reel Confluence.
Yeah.
It is here because I played it one time
How many people?
with 4.
So not enough.
Not enough, but it was enough that Jenny and I looked at each other at the end and went, this game is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It has so much there. The people that we played with had the equally opposite reaction. This game was horrible and difficult. And that was when I realized that it was going to be really, really hard to get a group to play it, and we can't play it 2. But
It is minimum 4, maximum 9. It's a 2 to 4 hour heavy negotiation. Everybody's yelling, make this trade, I need this, do you want this, I'll give you this for this. Glory. But
So-
I had it, and then I gave you my copy. It somehow ended up with you, and I remember sitting there thinking, I will never again get this played.
yeah, it feels like the spiritual successor to Pit, if you've ever played Pit,
Okay, yeah.
mixed with a heavy game.
Yeah.
So
Again, if you are going to track it down, if you have the people for it, if you have heavy economic negotiation gamers, because that's all that game is, find the second edition.
Yep.
Because the first one is not as bad as Roads and Boats, only because there's like no art, but it is hideous. The second edition is illustrated by Kwanchai Moria, and it is just...
it's very pretty, and it's still in the collection because I'm holding out hope.
You get those people together, I will happily come play it.
Sounds
Happily.
I don't think my spicy brain could handle all the yelling.
No. The game gets like, we're running out of time. We need to make this trade. Make this trade with me so I can make a trade with him, so he can make a trade with him, so he can make a trade with me.
Yeah, no.
It's glorious.
So that I can run this machine and trade that into something else.
Yep. It basically, if you want to play a much simpler game, just play Furnace. It doesn't have all the bidding and sniping, but all the engine conversion and all that stuff. It's that game for 45 minutes.
Yep.
Totally get that. I was wondering if Leash Boa was going to end up on your list, because
Almost.
it just missed on mine as well. It is not one of my honorable mentions because, end of the day, I don't think I actively want to play Leash Boa again, but I thought it might end up in yours. So my 3, the first one is just out of sheer nostalgia. I played an ungodly amount of Bang, where we would sit there and play it for like 4 or 5 hours a night, a couple times a week.
What cracks me up is that when you are walking the dealer floor at Gen Con, there are still people that are playing Bang on the dealer floor because they still try to sell the damn thing.
There's the new big Dynamite edition. It is a cool game that in 2007, when it came out, was unlike anything else. And I still think it's better than the dice version of itself. But it had too many expansions. And over time, there's just better party games.
Well,
Because I don't have to find a gun. I don't have to find a horse. I don't have to find the things. Like,
I have a funny feeling that it's going to get a small resurgence because Dropout just started a new series.
yes, they did, and they just played it
They just released it.
on Parlor Room.
So they've got a new series. It's called Parlor Room. It's done, and I can't think of her
Becca
name.
Scott.
Becca Scott. Love Becca Scott.
Yep.
Becca Scott is
100%.
an amazing. I was leery about her at first, and now
I-
I've watched more content of her. Like when she first came out, I was like,
I have legitimately tried figuring out, can we get her on the podcast?
oh my god, I would die if I
Same.
got her on the podcast.
I absolutely would. I passed her at Gen Con last year, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Becca Scott.
I love her. She's so cute. She's so sweet, and so knowledgeable about the hobby. But she just started a new show called Parlor Room, where she has like you're the guest star, and you get to bring some of your friends, and
Okay.
you bring your favorite game, and you get to teach your favorite game.
And so far, it's all been party games. It's been
Your more party games, yes.
monikers, wavelength, cash and guns. I played Bang just an ungodly amount in college. Wes and Chris and Jeff and I, like, that founded that relationship. But it's an aged game, and so I'm never going to play it again because it's a very aged game. It shows its age.
Right.
But at the time, it was incredible. So that's why it couldn't make the list, because I don't think it's a good game anymore. I mentioned Brian Boru in a recent episode, which is why I didn't have it on the list, but it's the biggest issue I've got. I need at least 2 friends, because it's minimum 3 people, who like both area control and trick take. I don't have that. My trick takers are not my area majority people. I have no crossover.
What was the game?
Brian Boru.
Okay, yeah, no.
It's Per Sylvester and Osprey Games. It's gorgeous production. It's super fun. I do not have a group for it. I have held out hope for like 5 years because the game came out in 2020, and I've had my copy since 2020, and it's finally going because I've gotten to play it like twice. Now, I said in the Android Netrunner piece, there's one game that reasonably should be there, but if you just like, boop, I'm back into it because by God, do I miss playing Legend of the Five Rings. L5R, you put that theme on something, there's one sitting there, there's one sitting back there. All you need to say is, this is L5R, and I'm going to stake my Creighton flag in the ground, and I'm going to honor the hell out of you and win.
Formula D L5R edition.
I would do it. What's sad is I probably would. Because on BGG, since I joined BGG, my little top banner says Crane Clan. It has never changed. Everything else on my profile has changed except for that. And my username, because you can't change that. So, yeah, I miss L5R. I went to Cote's. I did tournaments. I did store tournaments. I went interstate for it. I had all the clans, even though it physically hurt me to play Scorpion because, it just... Like, if you say, like, if you pick one of those IPs, like, you know, I'm an Avatar person, or I'm a Star Wars person, I am an L5R person.
Okay.
Like, I love Legend of the Five Rings, and I'll probably never play it again because FFG killed the new version. AEG ruined the end of it. Ivory Edition was just... such a bummer. And then FFG started getting the LCG going. It had a little bit of a resurgence, and then they pulled the license on it, and it died. It never had a group out here anyway, and so I'll never play it again. But all my Cote decks are back there. I will never get rid of my Crate decks.
I never played the game. I did play when it had the crossover in Dungeons and Dragons.
I have wanted to play the RPG for so long because it's one of those where you're playing Samurai.
Yeah.
And Duelist Samurai, Crane... It is very easy to walk into a duel, die, and have to rebuild your character. Because dueling is incredibly dangerous in that game. Oh, I love Legend of the Five Rings. I couldn't put it on the list because all somebody would have to say is, okay, let's play. Cool, I'm in. Let's go. But nobody has pushed me, and so I haven't yet.
That's funny.
Meanwhile, you need to play River of Gold.
River of Gold.
Really good. It's a beautiful game, too. So, anyways, those are our honorable mentions. Fun stories.
Now can we play games?
Yes, let's
Yes,
play games.
please.
Okay, cool.
And finally, as we exit out of this episode, per usual, here is your blooper reel. There's some more swearing in this one. I mix up Cascadia for Calico and Calico for Cascadia both. But no burps I can think of, and most of the weird mouth noises are gone as well, so that's a positive. Like I said at the start of the episode, you will still be getting new content for the next 8 weeks or so. But Tuesday, October 7th is the launch date of Season 2, and we cannot wait for you to hear it all. With that, let's finish this season out with us being idiots, and we'll catch you soon.
You're a bitch. I was like, you didn't start recording, did you?
Yes!
Good.
I already
Yes.
hit the recording button.
Oh, awesome.
I thought it might be the Parent Trap.
You're a parent trap. Oh,
Yeah,
sexy beast.
I've known a lot of moms.
I'm annoyed because the way you're saying alphabet is sounding like alphabet,
Alphabet.
like the cereal.
The old
that you can't
cereal
get
alphabets.
anymore.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man, I love
How-
alphabets.
How dare you post? Because it was post cereals.
Yeah, it was. I'm well aware. I don't know that I've ever actually taught Arc Nova to anybody. I've taught the expansion a bunch of times, but I don't know if I've ever actually taught the game because I've always played with other people that know it. No, yeah, I have. I've taught it online a shit ton of times. What am I thinking? I'm going to cut all that.
I don't even know who made Terraforming Mars, but whoever hurt you, you're hurting people. So if this goes on the blooper reel, and it should, stop.
What was the other thing I was going to say?
I don't know.
I know you don't know. That's the problem.
I'm only so much help.
I know. You've gotten me where I need to be.
Yep, I know.
So,
I knew what you were trying to get at, and I was like, oh, well, this will make me sound intelligent for one.
that's fair.
No.
But because you can use the cards to also discard and get an extra bonefit. Let us know what your opinion is on Space Base as well. Space Base. Let us know what your opinion...
I tried so hard.
So close.
I know. I couldn't hold it.
IKEA.
I can't even.
We're adults. We're professionals.
The intensity of those two cues are so different from each other.
I'm just freaking dying. I'm sitting there like, okay, don't lose it. Don't lose it, Scott. Oh my God.
My love of Calico. Damn it.
Got him. Got him. There's another one.
Oh, what game is that? What?
I'm so annoyed.
Can we just do a quarterly blooper reel? Because I
We're
feel
gonna
like we're
have
gonna
to do
lock
one
in.
for the end of the month, and we've only had one episode.
Yeah,
Jesus shit.
I can only be on this once every quarter. I think we just have too many bloopers that happen. So tell me about not the kitty one.
But you are still limited in how many ways you can grow, but it's not as constrained as something like Harmonies or Cascadia. Or, damn it. So I forget what I was going to say. It's one of the reasons why this episode got delayed so much, because I'm cutting all these little...
I can't help it. I have a very wet mouth.
Do you want to say it?
What?
It's that time.
It. Oh, that thing.
Oh my God. Well, this is going to be in the blooper reel.
What is... You are good for bloopers.
Because you know I have a problem.
Yes. But my problem...
I've died.
It's a message from the
A
stars.
message from the stars. Whatever.
Well, if you're going to
Yeah.
talk about your second favorite game, you should know the title of the game.
I mean, I just know the box. It's really pretty, and I like it.
That button. That's the one.
That should be the one.
You're the one that I want. I see. Oh, I hate that musical so much. Have you looked at the messages of that show? Also, how weird is it to see Darian with a full head of hair?
I know, that is also very odd.
Don't worry, it's going to be going soon. The people that see me seasonally get used to a single look for me, and then are just completely thrown off when I have the other appearance.
I was going to say, I absolutely love all the happy accidents.
It is so much easier to see where your son gets his look now that I've seen Poofy Darian.
Poofy Darian.
This is legit.
This is what happens when Darian washes his hair and uses conditioner. It's
All right, Jason, what's your number 2?
Man, that's a good question. I would probably go ahead and...
that is a good question. You jerk.
It's too late for this nonsense.
Oh my God.
Nope, that's the wrong cue.
You moron.
Plugs, 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 plugs. I almost just like hit the button in the middle of that conversation. It's like, and don't you love it when it just ends? Bam.
That would have been hysterical.
I'm so annoyed that's how I said it.